Bandits hold Niger couples despite receiving 10 million naira, demand extra 60 million naira and 10 motorcycles. INEC debunks rumors of Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu's death. CBN fines banks 150 million naira for supplying new naira notes to hawkers. On the foreign scene, South Korean lawmakers impeach President Yoon over alleged martial law attempt. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Chamaka Mwafo. Good evening, thank you for joining us. It has been a traumatic experience for the family of Yakubu Dada, who has been in the captivity of bandits alongside his youngest wife Lami for the past 2 months.
Yakubu Dada, a retiree, and his youngest wife
raised from the sales of his house, cars and other valuables. The abductors are again demanding for an additional 60 million naira and 10 motorcycles. Abubakar Kochi completes the report.
Retiree and his youngest wife Lami were kidnapped a few kilometers to Kontagora while reportedly traveling on official engagement of the World Health Organization. His only house, cars and other valuables have all been sold to raise the 10 million naira earlier paid, but the abductors are demanding for additional 60 million naira and 10 motorcycles before they will be released. To worsen the trauma, the new owner of the house had given the family 3 months quick notice to vacate the building.
He left Mina that fateful day with his youngest wife for Kontagora. He is a retired civil servant but works as ad hoc staff with World Health Organization. He is doing that to survive with his family. He was kidnapped on a Thursday, but the abductors did not call us until Monday. They demanded 100 million naira as ransom to secure their release. We begged them for weeks before they agreed for us to pay 10 million naira to sell all our belongings, including the only house we have, my car and his car, our beds, television and other valuables, and contributions from his friends before we were able to raise the 10 million naira. After giving them the 10 million naira, his younger brother that took the money to the abductors could not be allowed to come back until after 1 week. They were taken to a forest in Kebbi State. The last time he was allowed to talk to us, he pleaded with us to go and raise the money, even if we were going to beg. We should not allow them kill him.
My siblings right now, they are no longer in school because we can't be able to pay their school fees, because even they are starting exam about last week and they just recently sent them back because we can't be able to pay their school fees and other things. Even now like this, to feed ourselves now, we are finding it difficult.
While the family now survive on the support from the neighborhood, the children that are still schooling could not write the just concluded first-term examination.
The family has been suffering seriously. Most of the times we visit them, we have to share tears. What we see there is not really easy. The community has been doing its best to see that even we provide. Sometimes we have to gather money. More than 5-6 times, we need to come together and gather money and give the family for feeding. And even from the first ransom, the community has done their best to see that other 10 million was completed to, for his release, but it was not done. Because even before they raise the 10 million, they have to sell almost everything that he has. He's a retiree. If this person have this kind of money, do we expect him to go and start doing this ad hoc World Bank whatever? He will not do that. Even as somebody in active service in Niger State, where is he going to get 60 million? So please, we are calling on the well-to-do individual, the government of the day and others, really to try to see how they can assist to aid his release. Even the house they are in presently is already sold. They are just giving 3 months notice to leave.
The family and community are calling on the Niger State government, the police and other security agencies as well as individuals to come to their aid to hasten the release of the victims. Abubakar Akote, Trust TV News, Mina.
22 camps of Lakurawa have been destroyed and several others have been killed by troops during Operation Fatanyama in Sokoto State. The troops also recovered weapons and ammunition during the operations in the state. The Acting General Commanding Officer, 8th Division and Commander Sector 2, Operation Fatanyama, Brigadier General Ibukunle Ajose, made the revelation while addressing the special brigade deployed to crush Lakurawa in Sokoto and Kebbi states by the Chief of Defense Staff. He explained that the deployment of the brigade will be an added impetus in frustrating the activities of the bandits and restoring normalcy to the affected communities and the Northwest in general. The deployment, according to him, is to consolidate successes achieved in the ongoing precursor operation under Operation Forest Sanity 3, Chase Lakurawas Out. Ajosa charged the troops to ensure the total destruction of the Lakurawa sect while urging them to abide by the rules of engagement and ensure the protection of lives and property of law-abiding citizens. A week after suspected herdsmen attack on the Lanu community in the Yalmatu Deba local government area of Gombe State, residents are mourning the losses. The crisis started after community attacked herdsmen in a reprisal move against the alleged phone snatching from a farmer. The clash led to the deaths of animals and a man. However, police said normalcy has been restored with an ongoing manhunt to arrest the masterminds. Hassan Kohli completes the report.
The clash that occurred on 7th December has caused panic among residents, resulting in the death of Nuhuma Aji and leaving others with arrow injuries. As normality has been restored, families of the victim are recounting their ordeal, calling on authorities to come into their aid. Nuhu was in the crowd trying to put out the fire when he was shot with an arrow by the suspected herdsman. The arrow hit him in the belly, leading to his death. As his family, we are shocked by the incident and we are calling on the authorities to take necessary action against the perpetrators. We are depending on the government to give us justice. According to residents, the suspected herdsmen were responsible for the crisis as they attacked a farmer on his farm. A resident went to gather ruminants from his farm, which we use as an energy to cook. Suspected herdsmen attacked him, snatched his phone, and after receiving the information, the youth in our community ran into the bush and the herdsmen fled. However, they chased our youths back, disguised and shot arrows at people while putting up the fire. The police, on the other hand, attributed the crisis to false information, as they have not yet found out the first victim allegedly attacked by the herders. The police also debunked rumors of lack of security present during the clash, cautioning people against taking laws into their hands.
There was resistance from the Lano youth because what the DPO did was very good. When he arrived at the scene, he was trying to identify the stakeholders there, which is the best. He identified the stakeholders, sit with them, discuss how to resolve the issue. But later, some youth from the Lano community insist that no, which they were shouting at the DPO with the men. Some are even have started stoning them. So which make them to now return back and add more manpower. So when they returned back and add more manpower, they went back. That is when they were able to contain the situation. So at that period of time, some youth still insisted and start following the herders into the bush. That is where the herders start also shooting bow and arrows. So that is when we have the 3 casualties.
Gombe State has over the past 2 years recorded huge successes in preventing the herder-farmer clashes in the state. However, with the Lano crisis, a recent attack on the Billiri local government area, the State Security Council has admitted that the trends are on the increase in few local government areas this year. From Gombe, Hassan Kohli reporting for Trust TV.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has asked the public to disregard reports on the death of its chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC chairman, Rotimi Onyekomi, on Saturday said Yakubu is alive. He said the clarification was facilitated following reports that the INEC chair had died in London. The statement added that the Commission would continue to work with genuine media professionals to combat the scourge of fake news and the danger it poses to society. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has said the party's target is to capture Rivers State in 2027. Ganduje stated this while inaugurating the newly elected executive committee of the party in the state, led by Chief Tony Okocha in Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Saturday. He said, though the South-South geopolitical zone is largely controlled by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the APC is making inroads in the zone, with Cross River and Edo states already taken by the ruling party. While congratulating the newly elected executive members, Ganduje said traditionally in APC, the inauguration of a state chapter is usually done at the headquarters of the APC in Abuja. He emphasized that the party will continue to work together at all levels, adding that the APC national leadership is willing to perform functions for its fold even at the ward levels. Chairman of the Information Committee in the Adamawa State House of Assembly, Musa Mahmood, has refuted claims that Lamido Adamawa has been removed as the permanent chairman of the Adamawa State Council of Chiefs. Speaking at a press conference in Yola, Mahmood described the report as baseless and intended to tarnish the image of the legislative body. Controversy has surrounded the recent passage of a bill establishing 83 new districts and appointing new monarchs in the state. However, the Assembly spokesman clarified the bill's intent, stating that the rotation of chairmanship among the state's 3 senatorial zones does not affect Lamido's role as a traditional council's permanent chairman.
18.2 of the bill is clearly there, that the Lamido of Adamawa shall be the chairman of the State Council of Chiefs in Adamawa State. So there is nothing like the Lamido is being stripped of his own position as chairman of Council of Chiefs in the bill. So this is the principal bill. That's why I came with the principal bill to clarify the air. The heat that is going on around the media now is about the creation of zonal traditional council and composition. That's the establishment of zonal traditional council and composition. That's part 4 of the bill. That one is talking about creating zonal traditional council in the state, which is the new thing that is being added in the bill. If you go to section 29(1), that is talking about there are hereby established for the state 3 zonal traditional councils as follows: Central Zone Traditional Council, Northern Zone Traditional Council, and then Southern Zone Traditional Council.
Reactions have continued to trail the Adamawa State Chieftaincy Bill 2024 passed into law by the State House of Assembly. The governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP in the 2023 elections in the state, Umaru Ardo, has called on Governor Umaru Fintiri to make a holistic review before assenting the bill into law. Speaking in an interview in Abuja, Ardo raised concerns over the speedy passage of the bill by the Adamawa State House of Assembly, stressing that a critical bill of this nature must be allowed to pass through proper legislative procedures, including public hearing.
There is no transparency. Transparency in the deliberation. Public hearing is the highest form of transparency, in a functional democracy. This element itself was, compromised. So whatever that comes out will be at the whims and caprices of the legislators and or the governor, but not of public opinion. The Southern law established councils, zonal councils, traditional councils, and it said that the chairmanship of these traditional councils, zonal traditional councils, will be rotational. The law did not exclude Central Senatorial District. So does it mean that if the chiefs have been created and then the Council of Chiefs have been created, will the Central Senatorial District also, its chairmanship also be rotational, including the Lamido, seeing that he is the permanent chairman of the State Council of Chiefs? The law did not clarify that.
To more stories, the editor-in-chief of Premium Times, Musikilu Mujid, and the CEO of the Media Trust Group, Ahmed Shekarau, have been re-elected President and Secretary of the Nigerian chapter of the International Press Institute, IPI, respectively. Majid Shekarau and 4 other officials who were elected unopposed and sworn in on Thursday will direct the affairs of the Nigerian affiliate of the global media body for the next 3 years. A statement issued by a member of the Global Executive Board of the IPI, Rahim Adedoyin, disclosed that other members were also elected into the Executive Committee of IPI Nigeria. Speaking during the inauguration of the new leaders, Majid, who promised inclusive administration, solicited the support and commitment of members to enable his team achieve the organization's set objectives of enhancing the Nigerian media operating environment. The election of new leaders was preceded by the organization's annual general meeting, AGM, where the Mujid-led executives rendered account of their 3-year stewardship and updated members on the financial state of the body. Nigerians from all walks of life continue to voice strong reactions to the proposed tax reform bills, with many calling on the federal government to reconsider or cancel the bills. In Bauchi, residents expressed similar concerns, while the National Orientation Agency clarified that the aim of the bills is to address double taxation, which affects many citizens. Adamu Imam completes the report.
The National Orientation Agency has launched a nationwide awareness campaign to engage Nigerians on 5 key issues, including the controversial tax reform bill, which has sparked widespread reactions across the country. The agency urged citizens to be patient as the government seeks to address concerns related to the bill.
That is why some states are, agitating, saying that maybe this thing will negatively impact them, and people, especially we are battling with the impact of removal of fuel subsidy, and now maybe because of the distrust people have with the government. That's why they think that maybe they are bringing another policy that will even bring Nigerians into more harsher conditions.
If the larger Nigerians think it's not good for the country, then federal government doesn't have a choice than to just allow it to simmer down. Yes, this is my take on it. It has to go with the what the people want, what Nigerian wants. You don't just force something as huge as this.
Considering the economic reality we are into now, and when we are facing serious economic turbulence, what is expected from the government is to be able to bring policies that will assuage the situation and not policies that will increase the burden. And what we know about tax is that you are increasing the burden, despite the fact that the government intention is to increase the revenue base.
And we are going to translate this bill into so many Nigerian languages for people to understand. Just like I have attempted, translating it in Hausa, we will now translate it for people to see it vividly what it's talking about. So this will now make people now take position whether what other people are saying is the writing or what they are seeing and what they read is the writing.
Experts have weighed in, suggesting that the government is at the center of the ongoing debates, with different opinions about whether the tax reforms bill will benefit certain regions more than others. They emphasize the need for more inclusive dialogue to ensure that such policies are fully understood by Nigerians before being presented for debate in the National Assembly. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a fine of 150 million naira on deposit money banks found guilty of giving out illegal flow of mint naira notes to currency hackers across the country. The move was after the Apex Bank addressed recent misinformation about the validity of the old 1,000 naira, 500 naira and 200 naira banknotes in circulation. A statement signed by Sidi Ali Hakama, Acting Director of Corporate Communications, reaffirmed that these denominations remain valid legal tender in line with the Supreme Court ruling issued on November 29, 2023, and warned against hoarding. Following the clarification, CBN, in its circular signed by the Acting Director of the Currency Operations Department, Mohammed Olayemi, on Friday, said it was concerned about the increasing prevalence of mint naira notes being traded by hawkers. CBN described the practice as impeding efficient and effective cash distribution to customers and the general public. The circular, which referred to an earlier directive dated November 13, 2024, highlighted the Apex Bank's determination to address the commodification of the naira. Away from Nigeria, South Korean lawmakers on Saturday impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol over his failed martial law bid, with the opposition declaring a victory of the people. The vote took place as hundreds of thousands took to the streets of Seoul in rival rallies for and against Yoon, who launched a failed attempt to impose martial law on December 3rd. Out of 300 lawmakers, 204 voted to impeach the president on allegations of insurrection, while 85 voted against. 3 abstained, with 8 votes nullified with the impeachment. Yoon has been suspended from office while South Korea's constitutional court deliberates on the vote. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo is now the nation's interim leader. The court now has 180 days to rule on Yoon's future. One man died late Saturday when a migrant boat sank off Crete, Greece's leaving 40 people reportedly missing, while 39 survivors were rescued. The boat sank 12 nautical miles southwest of the island. The Coast Guard said a huge rescue operation is underway in the sea south of the island of Gardos after the boat capsized shortly after midnight. An Italian frigate and helicopters were operating at the site, with more ships heading to the area. Local media said another man was taken by helicopter to hospital in the city of Kanai on Crete and was admitted to intensive care. In sports, the female police officer Corporal Juliet Chukwu has won the Bantamweight Championship in Johannesburg, South Africa. The fate was announced in a statement by the Nigerian Police Force on Saturday. According to the statement signed by the NPS Public Relations Officer SP Olumuyiwa Dejobi, her win highlights the growing prowess of Nigerian athletes on the global stage and reinforces the force's commitment to excellence in all areas of sports. Following the record-breaking feat, the IGP reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring police excellence in sports, particularly in the rapidly evolving discipline of mixed martial arts. And that's it for news updates at this time. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, to what follows on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.